Fidget's Freedom, words by Stacy Patterson. Fidget's eyes flew open. Was it morning yet? She looked around the inside of her box. It was dark, still. Fidget was full of energy. She was a young peregrine falcon, and all of her flight feathers had grown in. She could not wait to try her wings. Restless Fidget walked to the front of the box and peered through the bars. She could just barely see the valley, mountains and trees. All was quiet, still. Fidget turned her head. Her brother was sleeping soundly. She walked back and nudged him. Echo opened one eye and looked around. He was annoyed. Echo glared at her, then tucked his head between his wings. He went back to sleep. Fidget stood one foot and then the other. She lifted all of her feathers and shook vigorously. There was something different in the air. Fidget stretched her wings and legs. She knew that the time had come to fly. The sun came over the horizon. Echo woke as the rays warmed his feathers. The birds looked out onto their new home. Fidget felt full of peace for a moment. She stiffened. There was a shuffling sound behind the box. Both falcons turned their heads. The sound was over them. Fidget glanced up. Nothing looked different. Then the strangest thing happened. The front of the box began rising, rising, rising. Fidget could not believe her eyes. There were no bars. She could clearly see the valley, mountains, and trees. She dashed to the box edge and raised her wings. But wait, she turned her head quickly. Echo was leaning over and eating a plump, juicy quail. Fidget was hungry too, and quail was her favorite food. Exploring could come later. She lowered her wings and walked to the quail. Echo looked up. Fidget moved closer. She grabbed the meat. He grabbed the meat. They looked at each other eye to eye. She was about to yank it from him when, out of the corner of her eye, she saw another quail. Fidget let go and jumped on the new quail. The squabble left her mind as she enjoyed her own delicious meal. Fidget became full. Her eyelids grew heavy. She puffed her feathers and tucked her leg up to her tummy. In the mid-morning, a slight breeze came up. It felt exhilarating as it gently lifted her feathers. Fidget was wide awake. She leaped to the edge of the box. Fidget left her wings and felt the air beneath them. She brought them down quickly and up again. Her entire body lifted. She could fly. Fidget left the box behind. It felt wonderful until she looked down. She flapped her wings and headed towards a branch. Suddenly, the sky darkened. A dark presence loomed. Fidget was halfway to the branch. Cack, cack, cack! Echo's warning carried across the valley. Fidget had never seen such a huge bird before. She knew it meant danger. Cack, cack, cack! Echoed back towards her. Fidget was full of fear. A large golden eagle was heading for the young falcon. The darkness dipped its wings and circled behind her. Dun dun dun! Fidget turned around and flapped her wings furiously. The box was in sight. Fidget focused hard. It was so close, but not close enough. Giant black talons were reaching out towards her. Fidget flapped harder as the talons closed in. But Fidget was a falcon. She knew what to do. She folded her wings and rolled into a dive. The wind pressed against her feathers as the world rushed by. The darkness missed, but not for long. It was determined. The eagle circled around. Fidget knew she had to get back to the box. Her gaze shifted upward. Fidget flipped over and turned herself upright. She shot up into the air, pumping her wings. With one last effort, she landed in the box. The darkness flew by, and Fidget caught her breath. She was shaken, but safe, for now. She huddled in a corner for the rest of the day. Fidget's eyes opened. Was it morning yet? It was dark. She could barely see the valley, mountains, and trees. All was quiet, still. Echo was sleeping soundly. Fidget snuggled him and slept. She woke again as the sun warmed her feathers. She gobbled her quail and walked to the edge. She looked around. All was clear. Fidget lifted her wings, then slowly brought them down again. Her feet were solidly on the edge. Was she ready for this? The answer echoed through her entire being. Of course she was ready. After all, she was a peregrine falcon. Furiously, Fidget lifted her wings and launched herself into the air. And that was Fidget's Freedom, words by Stacy Powers.